Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again, and today I'm doing a full proper review of the Alienware M17X R2. As you can tell, this is a silver aluminum model. It's built like a tank. And I guess just like the MALX review, I'm going to start off with the exterior. So, very nice solid aluminum chassis. This alien head lights up when plugged in and on, and stays lit up even when you close the lid, something new Alienwares lack today. It's got this rubber grippy thing up here, so it's not really rubber and it's more plastic, and not very good for gripping, so yeah, not a very good feature there. I guess ports are next. You have a Firewire 1344 there, I think it is, 1394. Yep. You have a USB, two USBs, LAN, display port, HDMI, and old VGA, venting, and Kensington lock. Venting, power, venting, yay. The whole rear end is venting. Audio jacks, two USBs, SD, PCI Express, and then you have a slot load Blu-ray drive here. This is my favorite Alienware computer, namely because it has the best exterior, and it's one of the only M17Xs that can hold two GPUs. This has one installed, but it can hold two. More for the exterior, you have kind of a plasticky palm rest. Mouse buttons, horrible mouse buttons. All one big piece of plastic. And the touchpad, it's okay. But there is a very bad problem that I have with it. I'll tell you that later. Plastic again. Very good keyboard, but it does kind of flex in the middle. Power buttons up here. You have capacitive buttons up here, and then you have some indicator lights here. I'll show you all the lights when they pop up. Now for the bottom, you can tell which fans are in place. This here's the CPU fan, and this here is where GPU 1 is. And over here is where GPU 2 would go. As you can tell, I kind of got this used, and it's got some marking. This here's the battery. You can pop it out if you really need to, but I don't need to, so. Battery's got a button on it so you can read how much power it's got. And I guess the next thing to do is turn it on and show you what's on the operating system and stuff. So, yeah, see you then. Okay, this is the part where I turn it on. Now, I didn't do this with the MALX review because it's got a hard drive, but this is an SSD, so much faster boot time, so I don't mind showing you. Now, I've actually got a USB mouse attached for one very good reason. It lights up and you can blind yourself. Let me move this over a little bit. And there we go. And there we go. As you can tell, this Alienware has a feature called Alien Sense, where it can log you in with facial recognition, but right now the lighting position here is so poor that I won't recognize, so that just makes me wish this camcorder had a little light to show. And there we go, we are fully booted. Hooray for SSD. But as you can tell, right now I'm using the touchpad. It's not doing anything. And it's enabled. I have no idea why it does this. Now it says touchpad off, and now it's doing what it should be, off. I'm going to connect another thing to the port here. There we go. And this machine has a pretty big battery of 85 watt hours. It's dropped down to 63, lots of use. It's got a Core i7 quad-core processor, clocking in at 1.6 gigahertz base speed, and it can overclock itself to about 2.13 or 2.2 gigahertz, maybe 2.3, I don't know. This machine has a single GTX 285 with 1 gigabyte of GDDR3 memory, and that was the best card of its generation. It's got two hard drives. One is a 128 gigabyte SSD boot drive, and the other is a 500 gigabyte 5400 RPM backup and game drive, because you don't need SSD to run games. I have a few games on here. I have Amnesia, I have Sonic Generations, and a whole Steam pack of games. But I don't want to show you my Steam account because I'm afraid I'll get hacked, which is very likely because it's happened before. So which one would it be? Amnesia? We did that last time. Sonic Generations doesn't play great because it is 1 gigabyte of GDDR3 RAM. So it doesn't play well. Amnesia plays phenomenally, so I guess I'll do that. Low settings. Oh yeah, that's right. I was running on battery power. This screen could be an RGB 1920 by 1200 display, but this has the default 1440 by 900 display, which is good, but yeah, could be much better. If I remember correctly, that's what it was supposed to do. So just hi, launch game, and Fraps is already up, so we can be able to see it. I do have this on a cooling pad, but let's see what it sounds like with it off as soon as it gets started. And this time I have the name as my screen name, as always. Why am I using an Xbox controller? Oh yeah, I had an Xbox 360 controller hooked up because I was going to play Sonic Generations, but then remembering how it wouldn't play that well, I decided not to. Yeah, it'll only play 60 frames per second on the lowest possible settings, which is sad. As you can see here, pretty much max settings, high settings, and wow, I didn't start a game here. Trying to find a good comfy position. And move you guys over even more. Turning up the volume a little bit so you can hear it.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. Shadow hunting me. I must hurry.
There, lights are off. Better experience.
London and Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget.
There's the mouse. Yay, blind
I
yourself.
must stop him. Focus. My name is... Yes.
And now we are on the ground trying to wake up. Come on, Daniel, get up. No notes yet? This is a fairly dark setting, so it'll jump frame rates a little bit, but it never gets below 30 or 20. Not like the MLX did. And even though they both have the same amount of total video RAM, this obviously being GD03 is much better. It's been forever since I've started a new game on Amnesia. I'll make it better for you, I guess. Kind of. And there's the GPU fan, so, yep. On Sonic Generations, it sounds like this all the time. So high volume or plug-in speakers is a must. Come on, Daniel, wake up. Stop going insane. Nothing's happening. Lamp. Or chandelier. Why you move? Did we just go in a circle? No. I'm gonna be an idiot and find out what's in here. Of course, nothing but sacks of potatoes and clothes. And they just led me in here for absolutely no reason, and they're just being jerks. Nothing in here, so now we're coming into this room. I'm going to quit after this loading screen, because that's pretty much all we need to talk about. This machine has, other than the 285 GTX, 128GB SSD, and quad-core processor. This machine also has, I believe, 16 gigabytes. Yep, 16 gigabytes of 1600 megahertz RAM. So, yeah, this is maxed out. It could have a i7 Extreme 940XM, which would be insane. But we really don't need that, as this got along just fine. And now it's cooling itself down. On idle, this machine uses about 80 megabytes of RAM for the video, and 2.5 gigs of RAM on regular idle. But again, I don't have Sony Vegas or Photoshop installed, so they bring down the RAM count by quite a lot. My M14X on idle uses 4 gigabytes of RAM. So that just shows you how much you could possibly use. I'm going to turn the lights back on now and conclude. Lights are back on. We're ready to conclude. So, what do I think of this computer? It's my favorite Alienware computer of all time. Because, well, one of the best screens you could possibly get, the RGB 1920 1200. Dual GPU, so you could hook up two 680s and run them in SLI if you really wanted to. Yeah, you can upgrade this thing as time goes by. I made a mistake on my Alienware comparison video, because when I opened this machine up, to see where it's up with the touchpad, I found that it's 2 speakers per grill, so this has 4 speakers, not 2. And as you could hear, speakers were quite good for a laptop. They could be better, but they're really good. I don't know why they didn't put a subwoofer on this model, because the M14X has a subwoofer, and the Alienware M17R1 had a subwoofer, so yeah, what's up? And I guess that's it. This is running the Alienware edition of Windows 7 Ultimate. It's probably going to do some updates or something. So I'm going to end this video here. Next video may be the M14X, but not 100% sure. So yeah. And is this going to be doing updates? No, thank you. So, yep, I'll see you then. Thanks, Kimboy out. And here's the alien head closed off. You can see it's still on, even when the computer's closed. Best feature ever.